I am with the 2019 Mercedes-Benz G-Class. Mercedes debuted their G-Class in 1979, and it originally was to be used as some sort of off-road, military-capable, go-anywhere SUV. Now, since 1979, not much has changed aesthetically with this G-Class. And why should it? It looks fantastic. It maintains a timeless and iconic off-road, rugged, and capable look with its boxy dimensions and exposed hinges. Now, this isn't to say that nothing has changed. This is a 2019 modern era Mercedes-Benz. And with that comes all the class, elegance, and sophistication that you get with the three-pointed star. Now, as I direct your attention to the front, you'll see the new face of the G-Class. And if you notice the vertical sliding in the grille, you'll notice that it looks exactly the same as other AMG performance vehicles from Mercedes-Benz, specifically the AMG GT class. And that's not by accident. This is the AMG G63, and as such, it is the performance-oriented vehicle. A close competitor to this G63 is the Range Rover Sport and Range Rover Sport SVR. However, this G63 AMG gets to 60 quicker than both of those. Additionally, headlights and taillights have been updated along with other subtle changes around the body, but like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, can you think of another off-road capable SUV that also has not changed its looks much since its inception? If you thought of the Jeep Wrangler, you'd be absolutely correct. Both of these vehicles debuted with the same sort of theme, and they retain that today. They both debuted as very off-road, capable, kind of military-themed SUVs. Both the G-Class and the Wrangler are some of the most capable off-road vehicles that you can find on the market today. However, this G-Class competes more specifically with the Range Rover. That is because both of these are six-figure off-road luxury brutes. Now, while the Range Rover products absolutely have their own off-road pedigree and it is to be respected, this G Wagon stands alone because it does have such an iconic shape. You look at it and you immediately know that it's Mercedes G Wagon. You don't really get that with the Range Rover. They've changed styling. It used to be more boxy, now it's more rounded. This, you know exactly what it is and what it can do. Now, moving on to the interior of this G-Class, you're reminded with just how modern and elegant this retro off-roader has become. The typical Mercedes infotainment and cluster screens amass 12.3 inches each, and they are haloed by a beautiful ambient lighting. Control of these screens is almost limitless as you have your typical Mercedes command system. Of course, it's the newest model, but you also have a brand new steering wheel that has touch-sensitive buttons on either side of the wheel, depending on which screen you'd like to control. Left for the cluster, right for the infotainment. Now, without jumping into the infotainment in depth and telling you everything that it can do, I'll just let you know that it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, so it seamlessly fits into your life. Now, descending down from the infotainment, we are met with the new standard Mercedes air vents. This is a play on their typical string of pearls, and it brings a nice, modern, and contemporary theme to this cabin. Now, in between the center vents, you'll find three switches. And remember how I was kind of comparing the off-road capability of this G-Class to things like the Wrangler and the Range Rover? This is why. This thing oozes off-road capability, and this is made possible by stuff such as this. You have three locking differentials. You have a front locking diff, a center locking diff, and a rear diff. You also have things like hill descent control, 360 camera, a low-range gearbox, and many, many other things to keep you planted when you're off the tarmac, including this grab handle, which is, of course, carbon fiber and leather wrapped and stitched because this is an AMG and you want to have carbon fiber. You can also get your grab handle and your interior fitted in wood if that's more your speed. Now, all this is well and good. You have the technology to fit into your modern life. You have the off-road utility and practicality that to go anywhere you can possibly fathom. But where Mercedes-Benz differentiates themselves, even over the Range Rover, is their fit and finish. Everything in here is exquisite. Mercedes-Benz is at the apex of interior and cabin design, but they also fit some of the most luxurious and opulent materials in the industry. Seats are Napa leather and perforated as well as quilted to give an elegant feeling that is also extremely plush and comfortable to sit in. Everything that you interact with up front is either finished in a wonderful supple leather or a brilliant machined aluminum or just some sort of high quality material. If you have wood inserts here, it's nice and real and genuine wood, but we have carbon fiber because this is the AMG and it's very, very fast. Now, if you're familiar with old G-Wagons, you might be concerned with space and comfort. However, don't fret because this G-Wagon is longer, wider, and taller to give you loads more room inside. Now, in the back here, you can see that headroom as well as legroom is ample for my 6'1" frame. And let's just talk about the materials and finish once again. Everything that was so plush and awesome about the front is continued in the back. All the leather and stitching is the same. You get the quilted Napa and perforated leather seats, and you get your own individual climate control vents. You have 3 level heated seats back here. There's really not much more you could want. Now, without a panoramic sunroof in this car, some people may claim that they get claustrophobic. However, with the way that the body is shaped and all of the windows are almost straight up and down, especially the front windscreen, all of the light comes in at an incredible angle. You just have so much room, there's so much visibility. I never feel cramped because this cabin is always flooded with light. Now, as we move to the cargo area, you'll see that Mercedes equips a full-size spare wheel as standard, and they don't pack it underneath the car because you need ground clearance to traverse off-roads, ruts, sand, and things like that. So they put it on the back of the trunk. Now, this makes the trunk a little bit heavier, so obviously the trunk is not going to open up like in a normal SUV or van or a wagon or anything like that. So what Mercedes does is they've hinged it on the sides and they open it from the side. Now, having a trunk that opens sideways rather than upwards is perfect if you live in an apartment building or a condo or anywhere that has a low-ceilinged garage or any sort of place where you would open your trunk. Now, getting into the cargo area, we'll see that it is pretty expansive in here, but it's not lacking in features. You have an outlet up here, you have various tether points, and just in Mercedes fashion, you get quilted leather on your trunk lid. So ultimately, the G-Class won't be for everyone, but if you're into something with incredible off-road practicality, modern and exquisite and opulent luxurious interior with retro and timeless styling, then look no further than this G-Class.